Well, I do believe this election can have a very positive impact upon legislation like the sanctity of life, advancing protections for religious freedom, and making sure that the presidential and judicial nominees, that the presidential nominations that he makes do not turn into political activists. But that's going to require your involvement and your engagement. Joining me now with a perspective of the impact this will have on the Hill and how we turn it into a very positive experience is David Christensen, the Vice President of Government Affairs. David, welcome.
Thanks, Tony. I appreciate it.
All right, initial reactions to last night's election.
Well, I think it's very positive. There were 98, 100% members of Congress in the House that were 100% on our scorecard that are returning. The overall numbers, everybody's talking about the overall numbers increasing by about 10 votes. But we actually probably increased the pro-life majority in the House by about at least 10 members, and that's significant. In the Senate, there were 10 senators who were 100%. 5 of them were running for re-election, all won. And we've seen now a Senate majority that's going to be controlled by Republicans. People, like you said, need to be engaged. And they need to be engaged this fall. We have a lame duck session. Congress is coming back with none of these new good members. They're going to be passing nominations, replace Eric Holder. They're going to be passing more judicial nominees. Harry Reid is not going to lay down and go to sleep. So Americans need to weigh in. Conservatives need to weigh in. We need to make sure that the spending bills protect pro-life riders. In this fall, it funds the federal government, the Hyde Amendment, preventing government funding of abortion, conscience protections that are existing law. We need to protect those this fall. We need people, conservatives watching, to weigh in with their members now. Then going into 2015. I know other speakers earlier talked about the importance of pro-life bills and religious liberty bills. There's a number of bills that I think we can pass in the Senate. We need to force President Obama to veto the Unborn Pain Capable Child Protection Act. You know, President Clinton vetoed a number of bills and then compromised. President Obama hasn't had to veto anything. Conscience protections, religious liberty protections that were mentioned. We need the Senate then next year, with the support of the American people, to pass these and force the president to say, no, I'm still not going to compromise after this drubbing in the election. And frankly, that sets up 2016.
Let's start first. You mentioned the lame duck session of Congress. What is the greatest threat going into this lame duck session now that we know that the Democrats have lost control? This could be the president's last chance to push more of his radical agenda through.
Well, I think the long-term ability of the president to shape America through the courts and through bad nominations is absolutely the greatest threat coming into this lame duck. Eric Holder has been a terrible attorney general, and he's going to replace that seat. We have more nominees, judges that'll be put up to the bench. And, you know, we can't have the Republicans just say, well, we're just going to let this slide. We're just going to wait till next year. Once these guys get nominated, they get put on the bench, they're there for life. Right. And we need to stop that.
What are the greatest opportunities going into this new Congress with Republicans controlling both the House and the Senate?
One of the greatest opportunities is repealing Obamacare through a budget process, getting rid of abortion funding, and protecting conscience rights. Those are realistic, very, I wouldn't say modest, they're realistic. They're not crazy schemes. These are real opportunities that Americans can get behind. Force Democrats to go along with those. A lot of the Democrats, they do want to go to that. The left wing of the Democratic Party hates it, but they should vote for those. We need members on record and hold them accountable going into the next round of elections.
Let me go back to the elections here for just a moment. We talked about the policies in the lame duck session. We talked about what we can anticipate in the upcoming session of Congress. But let's talk about those who were successful. One of the ways in which we recognize those members on the Hill that are solid on our issues. We call them true blue, recognize them for their 100% voting record on family issues. How did the true blue members do in their re-elections?
They did quite well. There were 98, there were over 100 congressmen from this session that were 100% on our scorecard, ranging from votes related to religious liberty, pro-life. There were some marijuana votes. They voted solid, and most of them all are returning. And we know from FRC Action that a number of the new members are going to be really good on our issues as well. In the Senate, we have we have about 10 100% senators. 5 of those will be returning, the rest were retired. There's a number of senators who are in the 80 to 90% range. So they vote with us on the issues, and we need to continue to lean on them. And when people do take tough votes and vote the right way for family, for life, then we acknowledge them and we want to recognize them. And that's something that we do because people watching this webcast need to know that.
And again, the evidence suggests that those that stand true on those core value issues of faith, family, and freedom, it's not a liability, but rather it's an asset when they go before voters.
Yes, and one of the easiest ways for members who don't want to have a vote on that is just not to get a vote. Like if they want to hide from the life issue, they don't get a vote. We need those votes. We need to support candidates to be pro-life. This is probably the most pro-life House of Representatives ever, and that's saying something. And in the Senate now, we have 52 known Senate Republicans. We have 44 solid pro-life votes. We have a number of members. We did a lot of work on the HHS mandate and the Hobby Lobby case, equipping members of Congress to speak intelligently about these issues, protecting religious liberty. We're going to continue to provide that kind of information so that they can stand firm on these issues, not shy from them. When they speak intelligently about these issues and tell it like it is, Americans don't turn around and throw them out. They support them, and we need to help them.
All right. Well, David Christensen, you have some work cut out for you.
Looking forward to it.
All right, David. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks, Tony.